A North African country, Libya, gained their independence in 1951. Then Muammar Gaddafi took over the reign of authority in the year 1969 until he was assassinated by NATO-backed forces, backed by America, and was brutally assassinated and removed from power. And today, Libyans should count the situation now and the situation under Gaddafi. Under Gaddafi, Libya had the best currency, the strongest currency in Africa. In Libya under Gaddafi, education, especially public education, was compulsory for both sexes. Education to university level was paid by the government of Libya under Muammar Gaddafi. So there was high intellectual growth. Gaddafi refused to provide housing for his parents until everyone gets own house. Electricity was free of charge for all Libyans under Gaddafi. Fuel price was the lowest in the whole world. Gaddafi constructed the largest dam and irrigation in Africa. He has free sponsorship to farmers and aspiring farmers too. Free sponsorship. The list can go on and on and on, even to the extent of getting youngsters a new wife, or those who wants to buy a car. The price of the car will be subsidized up to 50%. That's an African country ruled by themselves. Then the question now remains, why was Gaddafi removed the way he was removed? Why was he died brutally? The same America that backed the buying of Gaddafi under Donald Trump, that's supposed to be my friend, that's supposed to be a friend of Africa. Trump is busy deporting Africans. They should go back to Africans. See, he's busy deporting immigrants. And people we are deporting to the place they have never been to. You push them down to Africa. Most of them are Africans, blacks. Now, an African country is putting things in order, growing in a very fast form. And I'm talking about Burkina Faso. What is America's interest in destroying the economy of Burkina Faso? Why do they misinterpret the good things that happens in Africa to look as if it was a bad thing in their own mind? Just because Traore is romancing with Russia. America has been there sponsoring illegalities in Africa under the guise of keeping or helping Africans with so funds that has under meaning. Just watch this video to the end. Then we can comment later.
Libya gained independence from Italy and was looking forward to development and depended a lot on foreign aid from other Western and European nations like Britain and the US. But then, in 1956, everything suddenly changed in Libya, with the very first discovery of oil in the country. This was a great civilizational potential that was hidden in the country for centuries. The population of Libya began to skyrocket, and problems related to development started increasing as well. Have you ever heard about the golden dinar, a dream currency for Africa that was envisaged by Muammar Gaddafi? It was going to be his greatest achievement in Libya, Africa, and the world at large. However, the project was crushed by Western powers and was not realized at the end. Between the 1950s and 60s, Libya was among the poorest countries in the world, but when Gaddafi came to power in 1969, he made Libya the richest African country, with over $150 billion in its foreign reserves, with no budget deficit. Libya had the strongest and most valuable currency in Africa. The Libyan dinar was also one of the strongest currencies in the world. Gaddafi proposed the idea behind the Libyan strong currency to the AU and wanted African countries to work to create an African currency, backed by gold, in order to strengthen the continent's economy and alleviate poverty and deterioration. During Gaddafi's reign, all education to university level was paid by the government. People who were not able... No system is perfect, but most are imperfect and expensive. Gaddafi made sure his system was subsidized, and even Mercy Corps attested to the fact. According to the UN Development Programme, in 2010, Libya occupied the 5th position in the Arab world for human development, especially in terms of intellectual growth. Additionally, electricity in Libya was free for everyone. Gaddafi also started a great irrigation system in the world that was meant to make water available to every home in Libya. The Great Man-Made River project that was initiated in Libya at the time of Muammar Gaddafi is a memorable one in the country. The foundation stone for this project was laid in Sarir on August 28, 1984. This project utilizes a pipeline system that pumps water from the Nubian sandstone aquifer system down from South Libya to the cities in the north, including Tripoli and Benghazi. The water covers a distance of up to 1,600 kilometers and provides 70% of all fresh water used in Libya. It is important to note that Libya, being a desert county, has always faced long-standing water shortages. The water project funded by Gaddafi himself was nicknamed the 8th wonder of the world. If any Libyan citizens had interest in starting a farming business, the government could assist them with seeds, land, and even livestock at no cost. Another aspect that was very peculiar during Gaddafi's rule in Libya was that shelter was considered a natural human right for every Libyan citizen. Homes in Libya were owned by individuals and families, and were not supposed to be rented according to laws put in place. It was part of Gaddafi's aim to combat homelessness in the country. The Green Book that was first published in 1975 was Gaddafi's Bible of political philosophy. He vowed that he would not secure a house for his own parents until every citizen had one. There are many other things Gaddafi achieved in Libya at the time he was president that we might not fully exhaust in this video. But you should take note that amongst these great achievements, Gaddafi ensured bursary to mothers who gave birth to newborn babies. Each of them received $5,000 for their upkeep. Petrol prices in Libya were the lowest in the world at that time. A liter of the fluid costed just about $0.14. In adherence to the Sharia law in Islam, there were no interests charged on loans, and prices of basic commodities in Libya were extremely low to ensure that no one lacked anything or went to bed hungry. When anyone wanted to buy a car, the government subsidized its price up to 50%. Great, isn't it? Graduates received an unemployment fee from the government for use until they could find a job. We would like to reiterate again that since Gaddafi took to power till now, oil has been the main resource in the hands of the Libyan Arab nation. The triumph of the 1969 revolution marked a paradigm shift, moving the new government to use its oil income to boost redistributive measures among the population, generating a new model of economic and social development for the country. Some analysts have reported that amongst the numerous strategies for economic sovereignty which drove Gaddafi's policies were the nationalization of various Western oil companies such as British Petroleum and the creation of the National Oil Corporation, which characterized the configuration of a more socialist model. Within the Libyan state, Gaddafi dealt with two central dilemmas, which were fully a characteristic of the country. The first was the difficulty to exercise control over all the tribes of Libya, and secondly, the fragmentation of the country into diverse, opposite tribal and regional groups. Gaddafi had the ability to hold together these tribes, with little connection to each other. It is estimated that there are about 140 tribes in Libya, with different traditions and origins. Internationally, Gaddafi worked to strengthen ties with neighboring countries such as Egypt, Morocco, Syria, Tunisia, Chad, and many others, as well as maintaining close bonds with France and Russia. Pan-Arabism cannot be excluded from the list of Gaddafi's achievements in Libya and the world. He confronted Western nations such as the U.S. and reached closer ties with other Arab countries to carry out common practices of rejecting Washington's policies on the Middle East and Africa, though with limited power. Gaddafi also connected Libya to Latin American countries such as Venezuela and Cuba, which made him accumulate an extensive network of contacts. This, however, created an uncomfortable influence for Europe and the United States. By the time of Gaddafi's assassination, Libya had the highest GDP per capita and life expectancy in Africa. Fewer people lived below the poverty line than in the Netherlands. Many of Gaddafi's supporters continued to laud his administration for the creation of an almost classless society through domestic freedom. A regime that combated homelessness, ensuring access to food and safe drinking water, and a dramatic improvement in education. They also applaud his moves in medical care, praising the universal free health assistance provided under Gaddafi's administration, with diseases like cholera and typhoid being contained and life expectancy raised. The name of Libya was changed several times during Gaddafi's tenure as leader. From 1969 to 1977, the name was the Libyan Arab Republic. In 1977, the name was changed to the Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya, and in 1986, it was changed to the Great Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya after the U.S. bombing that year. The name Jamahiriya was given by Gaddafi himself, meaning the state of masses. Throughout his long rule of over 42 years, Gaddafi defended his position against oppositions and coup attempts that emerged from both the military and the general population. He reacted to these threats on one hand by maintaining a careful balance of power between the forces in the country and by brutal suppression on the other. Libya under Gaddafi was not entirely hellish, as the world has been made to believe. Throughout Gaddafi's tenure in Libya, ambitious social programs were launched in areas of education, health, housing, public works, amongst others, as you have just watched in this video. These policies led to a substantial improvement in the living conditions of Libyans, from being one of the poorest countries in Africa in 1969 to being the continent's leader in Human Development Index in 2011. After watching this video, what comparisons can you make for Libya at the time of Muammar Gaddafi and present-day Libya under Mohammed Yunus al-Menfi? Drop your views and additional ideas on this video in the comment section if you have any. Do not forget to turn on the notification button after subscribing to The New Tourist so that you don't miss any of our interesting and catchy videos.